Alright, thank you everybody for tuning in again. This is Giant Q coming at you through the YouTube. I am just shortly after the last episode was recorded. Same day, just took a shower, kinda had a nice hot meal.
Damn. He feels more like an echo. An echo with important info. I need to get back to Emily.
So if you remember from last time, we just
People react strongly when I tell them about you. Is it too soon to tell Emily? She might be able to help.
Oh, that's cool, it opened back up. It's a loop around, that's sweet. But, the body's still there? Nope, it is not. Trench, Bureau of Funding. But before I read this, if you remember correctly, we had just gotten the floppy disk that allows for telekinesis, and we just got done with the hotline, which is a direct connection to the board, and my guess to the previous directors of the oldest house, which is the building I'm in. Apparently, I've been reading a few of these files off camera as I was sitting here munching down my food. I was reading up on this stuff, so I kind of had like a clear area, or not area, but a clear understanding of what to expect, and so I kind of understood how everything was. So, to all executive staff, I know there is some concern regarding our operations exceeding the annual budget. So long as we operate within the oldest house, we are obscured from scrutiny in many respects. If our budget demands are not exorbitant to the point of drawing attention, then they will be granted by the U.S. Treasury without question. The FBC, Federal Bureau of Control, is just another line in another spreadsheet that some lowly accountant won't even notice. Their eyes will skip over us as if we weren't even there. The nature of the oldest house allows us certain freedoms in how we operate. Our being here is no accident.
It took us a long time to learn how to stabilize the control points, the ley lines, the meridians of the oldest house. Darling found a way to soothe this beast. We discovered we must cleanse control points of all interference. It's my duty as the director, like Northmore before me. I couldn't manage it in my own house, at my home. I'll damn well do it here. Without the control points, the oldest house would swallow us alive. We'd be sealed inside an endless labyrinth. No one would hear our screams. If an enemy ever managed to corrupt the control points, it'd be over fast, spreading like a cancer, leaping over the fire breaks like a crown fire. They are the weak point. Darling's right about that. He's wrong about everything else. Dangerously wrong. Suspiciously wrong. Has he been compromised?
But I watched all these off camera, except for this one. This one just appeared. But, and also a big thing that came up in this is he believes that there was a conspiracy that allowed for the Hiss to take control of the control points and to cause the havoc that they are now spreading. You could just say codependence. Alright. I do have clearance level 1, so I'm going to try to kind of backtrack, see if I can unlock certain things. Agent death notification. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Potts, I regret to inform you that your son, Graham Potts, was killed in active duty this past week. While the details surrounding his death are classified, I am honored to tell you that he died in the service of his country. You can be proud of his courage in the face of danger and his commitment to protecting our nation against her enemies. He will be remembered by his comrades and colleagues. I sincerely regret the pain of this message will bring to you. Take some solace in knowing that his sacrifice helped protect the country he loved so much. His effects will be returned to you with all speed. Sincerely yours, Murray, Deputy Chief of Communications, Federal Bureau of Control. Something.
Reminder, if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and the object. If there are no altered items or objects of power in the vicinity, then reach your supervisor via the nearest intercom and await further instructions. Thank you for your attention.
I'm not sure why there's a photo of me on the wall. I know it's that I'm the new director, but it's only been less than 2 hours in game, at least, that I've been technically instated by the grip, as the gun is called in my hand. Or not gun, but object of power. I will say I do like these physics. I love floppy physics in games. That is the reason like Dark Souls and Bloodborne are some of my favorite games. But now I have clearance level 1. Is this a link back to the mail? No, it's not. Okay. Para-utility. Summary. Objects of power are unique in their capability to grant certain individuals paranormal abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. The potency of these abilities depend on the para-utilitarian. Using the classified object of power as an example, some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of... Oh, okay, so that's the floppy disk. Okay. What exactly determines an individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some classified exists within the body, and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmore records, considering he is one of the most accomplished para-utilitarians this Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. So is it kind of like the Force with the midichlorians? Like technically it's an innate thing in everyone, just some people have more of it. Or not even more of it, but I don't need it. that some people are just more gifted in it than others. Like, could it just be a gene thing? I love when games like this make you think and like question while you're playing and while you're exploring. It makes you want to continue exploring, continue playing. And don't get me wrong, like certain games have their appeal where it's just like mindless, like Borderlands. The collective unconscious. This is a, if you follow my Instagram, then you already know the next series I'm going to be doing either alongside this or after this. I haven't decided quite yet. But this is a big point, or a big hint as to what it is, because this is a big thing inside the series. Or the game itself. Well, I guess it is the series. But the collective unconscious is defined as the form of the unconscious that is shared in all human minds. From this arises unconscious knowledge, linking us through our ancestral heritage. See the Jung Report, which is a Chinese philosopher, I believe. I believe he was Chinese. I know he was of Eastern descent, who believed that people had multiple people inside of them. So you had the persona, which was the you that you put on in front of people, the one that you would use to kind of the person that you wanted to be. You had the shadow, which is the evil part that you didn't want to be, and then you also had the true self, or the self, which is you that you were, and like the true self, which is the truest version of you, the only you that only you would know. The you that only you would know. The true you. The one that's not defined by the people you're interacting with. Or or your fears of being judged. What's this?
Reminder: if you experience an unanticipated building shift, follow these simple steps. 1. Search the room for any altered items or objects of power. 2. Carry the altered item or object of power to the nearest safe room. 3. Wait for Bureau staff to find you and
Okay.
the object.
So that's what we just heard not too long ago. Cleric level 4, Health recovery. Again, I have one of those already. If I didn't have to sacrifice just having more health, I would do it. I have to go talk to Emily now, though. Executive. Clearance level 3. Did I come in here before? Oh, this is like SCP. Okay, this is cool. What does the jukebox do? Oh, what do you mean? Fine. Now for being the director, I have like no freaking clearance.
Jesse, did you get the hotline? I mean, how is it out there? The comms, the hiss? Sorry, you made it. I'm glad.
Emily,
Aw, you're cute.
I got the hotline. I can make out what Trench is saying now.
Incredible. What did he say?
He talked about his management team. People who knew the Bureau's secrets. Your boss, Darling. Tomasi, but he's gone. He's gone. Salvador?
He's the head of security.
And Marshall?
Helen Marshall is head of operations. She's tough, ex-CIA.
Damn.
She took her rangers and went to the research sector to secure the HRA production. She hasn't come back.
Someone who could help us. The other sectors. How do I get there?
It's impossible because of the internal lockdown. You can perform a directorial override to lift it, but that can only be done in the maintenance sector. Normally, you take the sector elevator down there. It connects all the sectors, but it won't work while the lockdown is in effect.
Okay,
We already
so
got past one lockdown. Maybe I can find a way.
Jesse, look, with no prep, no training, in this extreme situation, you are doing phenomenally well. And all that in the hiss can't seem to affect you. I mean, I would love to run some tests on you. If you agree, that is. We could find out something that would help us.
Tests? I don't know. She might find out about you. But I wouldn't mind understanding more myself. Okay. If you think it will help.
Great. I'll check the internal documentation for any lockdown bypasses. We need to get these sectors open to locate Darling and Marshall.
And I'll look for a way inside the maintenance sector. The sooner we find one, the sooner I reach this override.
now see, this is the kind of like main character I can get behind because she's also kind of got her own stuff going on. She's got her own reasons for wanting to be here. Upgrade and unlock new abilities from the nearest control point. Okay. Sorry, I don't mean to sit here. I'm just... I felt something on my face, so I'm just seeing if I can get it off. I think I got most of it. Hold on. I believe I got it all. I'll check after this. Search the maintenance center.
Hi, Jesse.
Or search for an entrance to the maintenance center.
So HRA stop you from becoming Hiss?
Well, it seems that way. I mean, I hadn't even heard of an HRA until a few weeks ago when Dr. Darling started handing them out. Well, I began analyzing mine as soon as I got it. I mean, each one seems to emit a powerful short-range frequency way beyond anything I've ever seen.
Doesn't the timing seem suspicious?
I thought that too. Dr. Darling usually likes to unveil his latest breakthrough in big presentations. With these, he just passed them out. Yeah, his behavior makes me wonder what exactly he knew.
Okay.
Thanks, Emily. I'm sure I'll have more questions soon.
Just let me know.
Is there a file over? Yes, there is. Initial impressions. Or no, my name is Jesse Falden. Fadden? His corruptions. We tested the visibility on his corrupted entity, but unfortunately the process seems to kill the host. Physiology becomes reliant on the hiss. More work to be done. Initial encounters with the entity on various behavior. Okay, so this is me. Okay. So I'm Feld, right? Fadden. Okay. Board countermeasures. That's cool. Shatter projectile weapon. Again, I don't have the shatter.
Do you hear that? Someone's singing. Where's it coming from?
I don't.
Singing. Sounds like it's coming from the elevator.
Objects up to 20 feet. Bullshit. You never recorded any distance over.
Plus 10 health, plus 10 energy, plus 10 to melee damage, plus 25 to launch damage. Launch damage, though. I'm gonna do launch damage. Very utilitarian. I'm gonna get 10 energy. Plus 50 to launch damage, plus 20 energy. Launch grenades and rockets back at the enemy. That's cool. And I will get a baseline health upgrade. And I will keep the other one. Additional weapon form slot.
Fine. Obviously, you never read the P6.
Astral constructs. Weapon forms. Construct the shatter. Shatter has high stopping power with a scatter shot that devastates grouped enemies at close range. I mean, I have the ability to, so why not? Right? What about mods? Obscured weapon mod, common. Obscured weapon mod, common. Obscured weapon mod, common. Threshold remnant. I need 5,000 source. Okay.
Data.
Countermeasures. Kill enemies with the service weapon in charge mode. Shatter mode I can do. Kill Hiss Rangers in the executive sector using the shatter. Okay. Don't have spin. Okay. So, the shatter mode, I have to kill them both with the shatter mode. So how do I switch between the two? Projectiles fired plus 2. Projectile spread minus 5. I'd rather have 2 more shot out.
Hope has asked us to document this incantation, she calls it.
That's the janitor. But I'm gonna go deal with these countermeasures real quick. And the executive affairs. Okay, so this is the square zone. This is the That's kind of cool. That's neat. What did that say? Doctor's office? Director's office. Okay, my missions are right here. Okay. Executive sector using shatter. Give me one. Sorry about that. I was getting a very important call from work. I forgot I had prior arrangements with a coworker, so I will probably have to end this one here shortly. That, I will call this episode finished. So, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day. And this is Giant Q signing off. Have a good one.